I am Zach with TheCHIVE. Today, we are blessed with porn star Angela White. How are you, Angela?
Hi, I'm really well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. A little introduction for people who don't know you. You're in the Adult Video News Hall of Fame, you're
Mhm.
in the X-Rated Critics Organization Hall of Fame, and you were Pornhub's number one most searched star in 2024. With every accolade, do you feel a sense of validation for your work, even though you've been doing this for so long now?
Oh, absolutely. It's an honor anytime I get recognized. But the main thing is that it's a job that I got into to express and explore my sexuality. And I'm still doing that to this day and still loving every second. So the validation is just like a cherry on top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, for sure. Now, you're originally from Australia. It seems like that place is just churning out adult film stars at this point. Is Australia just like the horniest continent?
Yes. I can confirm that
Yeah,
Australians are very horny. Yeah, I mean, Australians love to have fun. We're very laid back people, and I mean, I can't speak for every Australian, but I'd say that, we're generally pretty fun and horny people.
uh, now, I saw an interview you did with comedian Whitney Cummings, who is great. She's awesome. And you said that you had this dream at 14 years old. What was that like, knowing that you wanted sex to be your career at that young of an age?
It was kind of criticized at that age, as you can imagine. I mean, it was a different time back then, but
Yeah.
it was one of the reasons that I wanted to get into porn in the first place was because I was already a very sexual teen, and
Yeah.
porn was the first place that I saw women being celebrated for expressing their sexuality. So I was very interested in boys and girls quite young, and when I started making out with girls in the playground and sneaking around with boys. Yeah, it wasn't seen as an acceptable thing. And so I was teased and bullied by my peers. And yeah, when I finally saw pornography, I saw this space where women could have sex with other women, with men, with as many people as they wanted in various
Right.
locations. And it was seen as something that was celebrated. So that was what got my mind ticking like, oh, porn's my place. Like, this is where I'll be
Yeah.
accepted.
Yeah.
Porn isn't what people think it is. I mean, I think there's a lot more like it's been demythologized now. There's been a little destigmatized as well. And now with social media, there are performers talking about their day-to-day lives on set. And
Right.
so I think a lot of the myths that surrounded the industry, especially when I got into it, have been dispelled. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And porn is actually incredibly corporate and even more corporate now than when I first got in. So
Yeah.
what people don't realize is that when we do a sex scene, we actually go through a full boundary checklist of the things we will and won't do.
Right.
And on the larger companies, and I can only speak for Brazzers right now because I'm a Brazzers contract star. So when I'm on set for Brazzers, there's a talent liaison on set that goes through that boundary checklist with the talent, and they're there to advocate on our behalf. So if
Yeah.
they actually are there to watch the scene, and if any boundary was to be broken during the scene, they would step in and call cut and basically be there to protect us. And so I don't think that a lot of people realize that how many safeguards we have on set for performers.
Yeah, that's amazing that they do that now. It's almost like a an intimacy coordinator.
Exactly. It's our
That's
burden.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there certain foods that you try to avoid? Stuff that might not be, agreeing with your stomach. Like I'm literally asking about poop stuff.
Well,
Like
I
my
mean, I don't have to worry about that every day on set. So not every
okay.
day is an anal day. So each day, it really depends what I'm doing. So
Right, right.
if it's a regular vag scene, I still will actually avoid certain foods, like any foods that would make me gassy. I like to eat light because when you're getting naked on film, you don't want to feel heavy. You don't want to eat a pizza or a bucket of fried chicken. You want to have something light. You want to have
Yeah,
a salad or maybe a little bit of protein, just something to satiate you, but nothing that's going to make you feel gross and heavy.
right.
And then on anal days, that is a different preparation because obviously I need that passageway cleared for many, many hours. So I
Right.
do every person's body is different, so everybody's preparation is going to be different. But it's more about being careful of what I eat the day before, because
Right,
the
right.
morning of the scene, I'm going to be doing an enema and cleaning out, as we call it.
Yeah.
So I need to eat foods that are very easily digestible, that I'm able to clean out easily. And then on the day, depending on how long the day is, if it's a day with a very long script, I will fast in the morning because I need to kind of time out like how long I know I can stay.
Right, right,
But I will, before a scene, I'll have a little bit of protein. I'm not starving myself. It's
right.
not healthy to not eat anything, but I usually take like a little nut butter on set, just something with like some fat and protein
Yeah.
that'll keep me going. A lot of girls actually eat gummy bears. I don't do that, but that's the big thing in porn is
Oh,
like
interesting.
everybody eats gummy bears on annual days, and the reason for that is that it's sugar, so it keeps your energy up, and the gummy it's very slow to digest. The
Yeah.
reason I don't do that is because I do a lot of scenes, I do a lot of anal scenes, and so I'm just not going to be eating that much sugar
Right, right.
time. So if you're not doing it regularly, I think it's fine to eat a bunch of candy, but if you're doing it regularly, I feel like it's better just to stick to a small amount of protein. I mean, if you need a little energy, you could have an energy drink, but just having all that sugar, I feel like isn't great.
For sure. That's such a great answer. Oh my God. Can I ask you, what is the horniest thing you think you've ever done, either with a partner or trying to take somebody home?
I feel like most of the horny things I do are on set though. Like
Oh,
it's
okay. Yeah.
like I kind of funnel a lot of my sexual energy into my work because a
Right.
lot of the ideas I have are so ridiculous and outrageous. It's easier to organize in porn, safer to organize in porn, and
Yeah.
just you have more freedom with your creativity in porn. At least that's been my experience. So,
Yeah.
for example, gangbangs. Like, I only ever did one gangbang outside of porn. All my other gangbangs have been in porn because it's actually very difficult to orchestrate a good gangbang to get
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 10, however many men in a room that are all
Right.
comfortable being naked around each other, that are comfortable potentially having their balls rub against each other,
Right.
that can get hard on command around other men that are also hard. There's a lot of things
Yeah.
into a good gangbang. And then if you want to do, like for me, my favorite thing about a gangbang is the DP. So I like to have as many dicks. Wait, can I say whatever I want in this?
Absolutely. Anything you want.
I like to have as many dicks in me and around me as possible during a gangbang. So I
Okay.
love a DP. And for a strong DP, you need a good anchor. So we call the guy on the bottom the anchor. He
Yeah.
basically anchors the scene. He has to have the weight of the girl on him, stay hard, and continue thrusting. Well, not only is my weight on me, but sometimes kind of parts of the other guy's weight is also on them. He's kind of getting
Right.
like smothered by me, but also like there's other men on top of me. And so getting back to your original question,
Yeah.
like it's a crazy thing to not only get these really skilled guys that can anchor, that can DP, that can get hard in front of other guys, but also have all of them tested at once.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, obviously in porn, we're used to getting tested every 14 days. That's what you need to film in porn. I actually get tested every 12 days just so all my tests are overlapping. So I'm always in test, as we
Yeah.
say. So yeah, having everyone tested, everyone cool with each other. And then I feel really safe having a crew around me. Like I know at any
Okay.
moment, if things were going to, like, if things got out of control, I could call cut, a director would step in, a crew member would step in, whatever, and everything
Yeah.
would stop. And that to me is so amazing because for me with my gangbangs, I love to let go. Like I love it to get crazy, but
Right. Right.
it's like crazy within a safe environment, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Knowing that I can go nuts and at any moment if I feel uncomfortable, I can call cut. So
Yeah. It's like a controlled chaos almost.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Speaking of working with other actors, is there somebody, an actor or actress in the industry who you've never gotten to work with that you would love to collab with in the future?
There's always new people coming in that I'm like, oh yeah, that they would be great to collab with. I've been really fortunate that I've been in the industry for a long time, and so I have pretty much been able to tick most people off my list. So I'm very, very fortunate.
Yeah, yeah. From a woman's perspective, and you probably get this question a lot, but what is your favorite sexual position? Just the one that gets you there every time.
Cat. Most people don't know about cat, but cat,
No.
favorite position. Yeah.
Can
So
you
cat,
teach me?
yes. So cat is it stands for the coital alignment technique.
Okay.
So it's a type of missionary, but what you're doing is the male will align his pelvis so it's pressing against the woman's clitoris. So as he's fucking, he's grinding his pelvis into her clit. So that's my favorite. Like that's the one
Nice.
that's
Okay.
gonna make me come the hardest. It's very intimate. It's very romantic. It's not good for you don't see it a lot in porn. I do it in porn,
Right.
but it makes more sense in a more romantic scene because you're not going to see the penetration when you're that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. So I want to play a game if you're down. We're gonna call this Sex Act or Cheesecake Factory.
Oh my
And
gosh.
basically, I'm giving you a phrase, and you have to tell
Yep.
me if you think it's a sex act or a menu item at Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
Philadelphia sidecar.
That's a cheesecake.
It's not. That is a sex act.
What?
It is a. It has to do with a colostomy bag, and so we'll just move on from there. But that
Okay,
is
I
a
can
sex act.
imagine. Yeah, okay, wow.
Okay.
I'm very bad at this, obviously.
I love it. This is perfect. The 10-inch original.
Not everybody has 10 inches to work
No,
with.
absolutely not.
So maybe it's a cheesecake.
It is. That is literally just their standard cheesecake. So
Okay.
we'll give you that one. That was good. The space dock fondue.
I'm gonna guess it's a sex act. I have no idea what it is, but I'm
It
gonna.
is.
Okay.
That is another poop one. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The Asian cucumber salad.
Yeah, that could be from the cheesecake.
It
Yeah.
is. That is a straight up nothing sexual about it. The Alabama hot pocket.
That sounds sexual.
It
I'm gonna.
is. The Alabama hot pocket is interesting because it's where somebody shits into the vagina. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah.
You have you have a lot of curiosity around shit, I think.
I
I feel
maybe I
like
do. Maybe that's a me problem. Yeah. Uh,
I'm actually glad I don't know these positions because I feel like I'm doing things right in
yeah, yeah.
my job that I don't know what these positions are.
A
Yeah.
100%. Yes. Sheila's chicken and avocado salad.
That is an item at the cheesecake.
It is. Yes. All right. We are done with that game. I learned
I
a
did
lot. You
I
learned a
didn't
lot.
win, that's for sure.
That's okay. There's no winners in this game.
Yeah, only losers.
Yes, yes. So you have your very own fleshlight, which I thought was really interesting. Now I have a question because do they literally like take a mold of your vagina?
They take a mold of the vulva. So the vulva is the
Okay.
outside, the vagina is the inside. They can't do a mold of the inside. So,
Okay.
they're at liberty to play
Yeah.
around with the inside. But the outside was molded. And it was actually a very interesting experience because the vulva looks different when it's engorged. Like when it's turned on,
Right.
the vulva engorges with blood and it kind of the lips get a little puffier, it gets a little swollen.
Yeah.
So it's a hornier look basically for the vagina to be turned on, for the vulva to
Right.
be turned on. So they wanted to mold it when I was at my most horny. So I was literally on this kind of like medical bed in this room with a bunch of people standing around me using a Hitachi on my clit to get right on the edge of coming. You can't come because once you come, it's going to
Yeah.
settle
Yeah.
down and the blood's going to leave the vulva. So you've got to get right to the edge of coming and then stay aroused while they actually mold it. And actually, the staying aroused was easy. So I'm used to masturbating in front of people, so it wasn't
Yeah.
that scary or anything. But so I held the Hitachi on my clit until I was just about to come. Then I took it off, and then they smear this green goo all over your vulva. And honestly, something about that turned me on, just having this like medical, like a guy with a glove smearing this green
Right.
goo on my vulva. And the thing is that the goo, it has a technical name, but I'm going to call it goo because I don't
Yeah.
remember what it's called. But the goo heats up as it hardens. So
Oh
he
my
smeared
God.
it on. It's kind of smeared on cold, and then it started getting warmer and warmer as it was getting harder. So yeah, staying aroused was actually quite easy.
Yeah, you have some really solid reviews for your fleshlights. I don't know if you know about this, but I wanted to read a couple of these because they're really good. So I just want to share a few in case people are in the market, you know. So this gentleman named Dion said, "I had one before, but I had to replace it. It feels even better than it did years ago."
Oh wow. No, yeah, it's good to get a fresh one, I suppose.
Yeah, he just went
Thanks,
to town
Dion.
on that first one apparently, and he re-upped, so that's
Yeah,
good.
I love that. He put it to good use.
Yeah, yeah. Sonny says it was good, especially when lube is used.
Yeah, I approve lube. Lube's great.
He's
You
just
don't
spitting
want to go
back.
and dry.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
Yeah.
yeah. This is one of my favorites. Clifton. He just typed a period, like nothing else. 5-star review. Just typed a period. Like
5 stars,
that's
period.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it.
Thanks, Clifton.
Austin says loose but godly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
absolutely. I love that. That sounds like a Blink 182 album to me, like loose but
Yeah,
godly.
nice, nice.
And finally, Jared says she pulls you in, doesn't let you go, and milks you dry.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
let's
my favorite so
go.
far.
That's
Yeah,
that's high
yeah.
praise
That's
right
my
there.
specialty.
Yes, so those were some of my favorites. Very high praise for you.
Nice.
So I've talked to quite a few OnlyFans models. Most of them are actually married, which, when you think of this industry, you don't necessarily think about that right
Mhm.
away. So most are married, some have kids, and it works really well for them. So is finding a romantic partner important to you? Like, what does dating look like in your profession?
Yeah, so everyone assumes that dating in porn is going to be really difficult, but you're right. So many people in the industry are either married, have long-term partners, or date regularly, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like when it comes to dating, dating is just hard regardless of your,
Yes.
profession. It's just difficult to find someone that meshes with you. For me personally, I mean, I guess I identify as polyamorous. I'm not someone that wants to settle down with just one person. I like to explore my options with multiple people. So I'm just kind of looking for other like-minded people. And this industry has been great for me because obviously I get my taste for variety at
Hmm.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. In that light, are there goals outside of or, within the industry that you want to achieve moving forward?
I'm laughing because I kind of like, no, I'm just so happy. But like goals that I want to achieve. I mean, obviously, like I'm setting up for my future and so that I can
Yeah,
have a really great retirement. But in like I've just really found my place in porn. Like I really feel
yeah,
like I was born for porn, which I know sounds so ridiculous to most people that aren't in the industry, but it's just the place where I feel like I can most be myself and where I get to be creative and do what I love. And you know what they say, do what you love and you never work a day in your life.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, obviously I have family and friends that I like to spend time with. You know, I'm going on vacation with my mom later this year. So I'm like, my goals are more like set myself up for my future so I can have a great retirement
yeah.
and just be able to spend really good quality time with my friends and family, travel the world.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
You've been in this business for so long. What was that like when OnlyFans came along and you were like, okay, there's this new, kind of platform for creators, and you are on OnlyFans. How did that affect your job?
Oh, it was huge for every performer because really, I mean, I was directing and producing my own content before OnlyFans, but when
Right.
OnlyFans came along, every performer became a producer and director,
Yeah.
basically, owning their own content. And it really changed the game in that it gave power to the performers. Like the performers are more empowered now than ever before because they don't need to go to set to earn a
Right.
living. They
Right.
can make just as much money staying home and masturbating. And I feel like that's had a really positive impact on the industry as well because now the only people that are working in porn, they're there because they really want to be there. You
Yeah.
know, they're not there because they need to pay off a loan or whatever. Like you do that on with OnlyFans money.
Right.
Like
Right.
porn is almost like you do it because you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
But I think OnlyFans has been great for everybody. I think it's been great for the business. I think it's especially been great for performers. It's been amazing amazing because now more and more performers are being able to creatively explore their sexuality as well. Like when you work for a company, you're really bringing their vision to life. It is collaborative to an extent, but you know
Right.
it's their script and their wardrobe and their location and what. But when it comes to like an OnlyFans collab, you're it's whatever vision you and your co-creator come up with.
You're very well spoken. And I read that you have a degree, but you want to go back for your PhD? Is that true?
Yeah, well, yes, that was true at a certain point. I did want to go back and do my PhD. Um, Now, I mean, I'm not so sure. I'm just having so much fun performing.
Yeah.
There's also an opportunity cost too, like with OnlyFans, with the money that I'm making on OnlyFans, going back and doing a PhD, whether it's the right time or not is a great question. I can do a
Yeah.
PhD in my 60s and 70s if I want, but
Right. Right.
you know, right now is a good time for me to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So it's a maybe at this stage. I think it would be fun to go back and do my PhD. It's not as high a priority now, especially you
Yeah.
know since then I've moved to the States. I'm living in LA, so I'm right in
Yeah.
the center of porn production globally. So it's
Mhm.
a really good time for me to be shooting. Yeah.
Well, we're so happy for you, and thank you so much for taking the time to chat. This was awesome.
Thank you. My pleasure. It was really fun chatting with you.